What is Highrise about?
So Highrise. What aspect? The entire story.
Yes. What's it about?
I couldn't sleep that night, 'cause you were on my mind.
It's about something that occurs between the hours of like 2 a.m. and like kind of 6 a.m. I get a lot of questions about that actually because I think it was a bit of a surprise for some people. So the basic story is, the message is, whatever doesn't break you makes you stranger. Something has occurred 20 years in the past and it's had an effect on me and it's had an effect on the protagonist that we torture. One has gone off and become incredibly weird, which is myself, and I've amassed this crew of other weird people, and he's gone off and he's become some sort of shady businessman. So on this night, I've gathered together a crew to kidnap him and torture him and scare him over the course of one night into transferring reparations into my account.
How did you choose the weapon to build the climax around?
So in pre-production, basically, I referenced all the horror films that I wanted to kind of take inspiration from. You know, horror films, good horror film, good slasher, you need a good weapon. You know, Freddy's got the glove, Jason's got the machete, and then the Texas Chainsaw Massacre has the chainsaw. And the thing about the chainsaw that I liked was it's just so brutal. It really doesn't mess about, and there's no argument with a chainsaw.
What's the inspiration behind the video?
I already had the song was done, I knew the aesthetic that I wanted, and I had 3 pillars that I wanted to kind of touch on. One was deviancy and fetish and subversion. The other was crime, and the third one was horror. And so I started a social media campaign that kind of put out different images that reference one of those 3 pillars. And I just noticed that it started to build a bit of a buzz, and the hashtag was Highrise is coming, because I knew that we were leading somewhere. But the inspiration just came out of something that I experienced years ago that had a big effect on me. So it's not fantasy. I didn't really have to dream it up. There was only one way that video could have been. It was the distillation of 20 years of rage.
How did you write the song?
The song had two lives basically. So I'd written the verse and the chorus, verse 1, verse 2 and the chorus a few years ago, and it was based on me just being up late, about 3 a.m, 3:30. I lived in a block of flats at the time, and just looking out of the window and just seeing different lights on in adjacent flats, and just being like, who's up at this hour? Like, you know, who else is on my wavelength and vibe at this hour of the night? And it originally was called Highrise Lover, and it was about kind of like just, I guess, a link. That's kind of what it was about. And then when I started writing this and I put the song down, I was trying to produce it and it just wasn't coming out how I wanted it, and so I put it down. And then when I started making Dreams for Life, I came back to it and I was just like, oh, this kind of works if I rewrite the ending. And then the ending blended it to the project I'm doing now. So the lyrics, dread like you're living on, Rasta man not belonging on. So that is basically just saying Rasta men don't belong in a high-rise block because there's an end part for them. And that is kind of where the video came out. It was like, alright, I've got something here that is psychosexual and just has this weirdness that can take you through to this weird night where I get revenge.
Who produced the song?
Zion, my producer.
What were the recording sessions like?
So basically that song pretty much consisted of him being like, I don't get it, I don't know what you're trying to do, I don't know what you want. And me just being like, just trust me, this is what we need more of, this is where we're going. And it took a while to have it make sense, but I just knew what I wanted. I wanted it to just be, I think because it was just so different to what I'd done before and what we have done before. Usually I'm very much like, vocals have to be like this, harmonies have to be like this, and this was the opposite. I just wanted to sound angular, edgy, abrasive. I wanted the listener to feel uncomfortable, while somehow it managing to still sound like an urban artist. I think I achieved it, but I don't know if I was successful with that.
How many recording sessions were there?
There was a handful, but I don't remember it taking long to record. It was quite a quick vocal, to be honest, but the mix took a while to get right.
How do you feel your music inspires the generation of today?
I think when people finally hear what I'm doing, they'll be like, we missed this. There's a throwback feel in it, but my head is focused on the future. So I think you kind of get a bit of something that's needed, especially in the UK.
What reaction and emotional response were you trying to achieve?
Emotional response, just one of discomfort and disquiet, and to really, in terms of the horror that I like, that's more what I like. Atmosphere. Because we could have just thrown a bucket of blood in the video, but I don't think that would have been authentic to the vibe I was going for. It was just a case of staying true to that, and that kind of helped bring other people into it as well, because there was no confusion about what I was aiming for.
What did pre-production consist of?
Pre-production, so that was quite an arduous process, because I think it wasn't until afterwards I realised I was wearing a lot of hats. I think usually when people, get a director and get certain people working with them, it's very much just like, all right, you do everything, and that's not really how I work, So in terms of the makeup, I was very specific about looks that I wanted. I worked with a brilliant makeup artist called Lulu Watts, and we went back and forth on different kind of elevated horror, gothic makeup ideas that would have given each of the characters a unique kind of vibe. Sakia's reference was witch. England's reference that I was looking at was more kind of like a near dark 30 Days of Night style vampire, and Hugo was meant to represent the ghoul, and I was meant to represent a twisted human being. And I was really happy with how the looks came about. In terms of costume, again, I had a certain look in mind. The movie references that I was drawing from was Hellraiser, so like The Cenobites, The Matrix, The Purge, like I said, Near Dark, 30 Days of Night, The Craft. There was just something about the dynamic of the group that I didn't want it to be straight like, oh, they're vampires, oh, they're this, oh, they're that. I wanted it to seem like you don't quite know what we are. We just don't mean anything good for you if we're in your presence.
So the video was directed by Cassandra Powell. Tell me a bit about what it was like to work with her.
She was brilliant. I mean, we clicked straight away. She has a very unique approach to her art, and it was the perfect collaboration. She brought everything I wanted and more to the process, and I couldn't have been happier with it.
What do you want listeners to take away from Highrise?
You know what? I really don't have a strong intent either way. It's like Highrise gets you uncomfortable, has you saying what and running for the hills, and then Dreams of a Life and all the other songs come and smooth the lotion and help you understand where I'm coming from. So it wasn't my intention to have people be like, oh, this song's amazing, this is so great. I wanted people to feel my artistry and my creative streak was strong, but that the song is just, it's just there for you to feel or not feel.
Steadily with me until the sunrise. Don't even know you, don't even know you, don't even know you, don't even know.
How would you describe your vocals on Highrise?
Effortless is in no effort. It wasn't, the vocals weren't the point. My vocal approach for that song was to kind of replicate just a non-committal 3 a.m. tease, you know. I'm basically kind of like, I'm like the snake in the Jungle Book saying, just come out, just come meet me. You'll be fine. And it really ain't fine. I put on my trusty chainsaw, I want to chop you up.
So that was your questions on Highrise.
Alright, sweet. Alright, thank you.